Welcome back, everybody. We are here again with some Minecraft, and guys, I am so sorry. It has been a long time. Well, sorry, not sorry, because I've been busy and have good reasons for not having posted in the last couple weeks. I think 2 weeks now. Um, yeah, basically just been really busy with traveling, with school, with interviews, with a bunch of stuff going on in life. So you know how it is. And oh, I think a zombie did a zombie pigman just come through the portal? Okay. Uh, yeah, you know how it is. And in the foreseeable future, it's going to continue being pretty busy for the next little bit. So you can, originally I was doing about 2 episodes a week. You can probably expect 2 weeks an episode now. So yeah, it'll take a little bit for me to get things out, and that is for a couple of reasons. Yeah, so first off, it's because, like I said, I'm busy. But second off, more importantly, we are in a completely different stage of the game now. So yeah, last episode, very excitingly, we actually beat the game technically. We beat the Ender Dragon, which is, the final boss, as much as you can call it that. We went to the end and came back, and so we've pretty much beaten the game, and so now we're kind of in a different stage where we no longer have that set goal of, hey, gear up, get the resources you need to go to the end and then fight the dragon and win and be victorious and all this awesome stuff. Now it's like, hey, the world is yours. You get to do what you want with it. You get to build what you want. You get to make cool things. Create this world around you, and that takes a lot more time, a lot more creativity, and because of that, yeah, episodes are going to be a little more sparse. So let's update you on what happened after I beat the dragon. So we went and explored the end, and look at this. We have some nice stuff. A little bit of dragon's breath you saw, and then went to some end cities, got some shulker shells. Not very many. We are going to need a lot more than this. But it'll do for now. Got our dragon egg. And we also have, boom, 2 elytra. Guys, I was so lucky. Literally, I visited 3 end cities, and 2 of them had the ship on it where the elytra are. And I've never been that lucky with elytra in the past. And I think it's just making up for all the grief I had trying to find a bastion for the netherite upgrade. You win some, you lose some. But yeah, so that's what I have done in the end. And then off camera, boy oh boy, have we been doing a lot of work. Yeah, so to give you some context into all the work that I've been doing off camera, let's bring our minds back to the very beginning of this series. And I talked about a few kind of guiding principles for me. One of them was this idea of Minecraft mastery, where I want to learn all the different mechanics and the best way to build farms and the best way to do all these things. And the other is we kind of have this story where I kind of want to build my world in a semi-realistic way. So, I'm pretending I'm this settler. That's kind of why we chose the area we did. If you remember, we saw this river here. We have the mountainside to protect us, and there were a lot of trees once upon a time over on the hill. And so that's a great place to settle. Access to the ocean, good for transportation of both yourself and livestock and materials. And then a good defensive position with the natural barrier here. And then, yeah, of course, you need trees. And so, yeah, a big part of that is going to kind of guide the buildings we make, the order we make them, the location, hopefully. Obviously, guys, this is Minecraft. There's not exact one-to-one, I guess, concepts with settling things and nether portals. How is that going to play in? I don't know. but we'll come up with a story as it goes. But that has kind of guided my resource farming and my tasks up until now. And so the big thing that I've been working on off camera has to do with trees. Yeah, so I want to make a really nice tree farm. And I think that probably getting your lumber mill and your tree production is a very important thing starting off as a settlement. You know, wood is kind of the basis for everything. When you're just starting out, it makes your houses. The tree limbs can be used for tools. You get food from the apples and whatnot. And yeah, so I think it's pretty important. Um, from a realistic standpoint. And it's also very important for us because we also use a lot of wood. And so I want to make a tree farm, and I think I'm going to make it right here, actually. So I kind of have this idea. We have this river. It kind of stops here. I'm going to keep it going, I think. I think I'm going to have it come out. Here, let me get my elytra on. We're still using poor men fire rockets, but that's okay. But I think I'm going to have the river come through and spill out into this kind of cavern right here. And I'm so sorry. Things are going to be laggy as I move around quickly. But yeah, I think I'm going to have it come and spill out like right over there, have a nice waterfall, come into this. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this in the future. You know, it'd be great for like a mine. It'd be great for a nuclear reactor in the future or like a rocket silo. I don't know, lots of ideas there. But anyways, so we're going to have this river coming through. And then with that, so I think we can put a nice lumber mill right here where we'll have like a water wheel, and that'll be connected to these, old timey, you wouldn't call them a conveyor belt, I guess, but just some moving parts that's going to chop up the wood. So that's kind of the aesthetic idea behind this. But then it's like, okay, but a Minecraft tree farm looks nothing like a lumber mill. You have this big thing with droppers that is going to set down the TNT onto the tree, and it's like, okay, how are we going to build that into the lumber mill? We're not. Yeah, we're actually going to put it underneath here. And then if we figure out a collection system, I don't know if there's a good way yet, but I want to try to get the wood to like pop up through a bubble column and then go through like some saws to pretend like it's actually getting cut up, and then end up in a chest or wherever our storage is going to be. That's probably what we need to do actually next, but hey, we need wood for chests, right? So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. But then there's a major issue as well, is that a TNT I spoiled it, guys. A tree farm requires something very expensive, and that is TNT. And to get TNT, you need lots of gunpowder. And how do you get gunpowder? You kill creepers. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? This is what I've been working on all this time off camera, is a nice creeper farm. Yeah, so we are here at our spider farm, if you remember. And like I said, this is where we're going to do a lot of farming and a lot of nice infrastructure. And you can see I'm going to probably put some little dinky farms here just to keep us company while we're waiting for spiders to spawn. And this is our creeper farm, or at least the bottom of it. And you can see, yeah, it's not, yeah, there's a creeper. You get a few creeper every once in a while. It's not super great yet, mainly because I have not put a lot of effort into lighting up caves around us. And so the mob cap gets filled up pretty quickly, and yeah, it doesn't leave very much for the creepers. It's not too bad though, I've already taken from it to make rockets, and we're getting a little bit, right? But yeah, the main thing I want to show you is what I'm doing, and I'm maybe not doing the best design. But yeah, let's take a look at that. So I come up this bubble column after I fall 1,000 times. And this is a creeper farm. This giant block of amazingness. So let's get up there and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, to orient yourself a little bit, this is that hole I was just showing you not too long ago where I was like, hey, this could be good for a mine or a reactor or a rocket silo. And that's where I'm thinking the waterfall is going to come out. So our base is just right over there. And this is what I call the big boom. This is our creeper farm. And what I did is I'm doing the snow golem method. I saw two main methods, well, really three. There's the cat one, which is probably the best, but I was lazy and I didn't want to mess with cats. And then there's the snow golem, where basically creepers will spawn, and then snow golems will throw snowballs at them. They'll try and walk off this gap here with the trapdoors, thinking that they can because of their pathfinding. And then they just fall down to the water, which pushes them to the middle, which then they fall to their death. And yeah, and I guess the third option is to have no snow golems and just let them wander off the sides, which they will do as well. I did it, so I looked at some tutorials to get a basic idea of the principles you need to implement. So for example, you need less than 2 blocks height. So we need trapdoors on the bottom of the second block, or I guess the top of the second block, bottom of the floor above it. And that'll make it so only creepers can spawn there, except spiders can also spawn. So you put little carpets or something to inhibit their spawning there. And so this will allow only creepers to spawn on all of these different platforms. And then I have, from what I saw, there's usually like this middle guy and then like a ring around it. And that's about it. I wanted to see what happened if I added a second ring and a few more snow golems to maybe speed up the process and to reach the range of the second layer. I think this middle guy can actually hit people like right there, but I don't think he would if they spawned like right there. One issue or actually two major issues is this is a very long line there. So if there's a creeper over here and he gets hit by this guy instead of that guy first, for whatever reason, he's going to try to track it. He's going to keep throwing snowballs and the creeper is just going to keep getting hit, knocked back for a long time until finally he'll fall off. And I don't know the mechanics of how that'll work, how often that'll happen. I'm thinking of putting like a gap right here down the middle for the creepers to fall off again. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. The other one is if, say, let's say this top layer, or maybe I can get down there. No, I don't want to mess with that. I've fallen down way too many times and it's annoying to get up. So if I was a creeper, if there's a snow golem right there and he hit me and I'm chasing after him this way, so I'm going towards him in the middle, and then somebody from the side hits me with their snowball, there's a chance that it will bump me so far that as I'm falling, I actually land on one of these middle columns. And yeah, if that happens, that creeper, if he's hooked on to this guy targeting him, he could explode and yeah, make a huge mess for us. So I don't know if that's gonna happen because if originally he's locked onto this guy here and then he gets down on a lower one, will he still be locked onto this guy or will he lock onto the next no golem that hits him? I don't know. I don't know how that'll work. But we'll let it run enough to hopefully figure that out. And yeah, it's not super efficient, like I said, and because of the darkness all around. And so I'm not too worried about it. Another annoying thing is if any of these snow golem die for any reason, it's actually kind of hard to replace them because you need 3 blocks to put down your blocks. And so you have to break the block above them. But if there's a snow golem there, he'll fall down and yeah, kind of a whole debacle. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do about that yet. But yeah, and yeah, a lot of time was spent digging out this huge hole. Fortunately, it gave us a lot of materials to then build this thing. As you can see, I'm using deep slate bricks and tough slabs. And yeah, pretty much all that was paid for by the hole. and we can continue going upwards with this if we want to. I'm planning to put like bud powered sugarcane and bamboo farm on the in the walls. Maybe have somewhere with some moss farms and stuff. All that good jazz. And then there's even a geode here, which I did cut into. I was considering whether to leave it sticking out for the extra pieces, but I did cut into it, so we can make a farm there as well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, guys. Um, Unfortunately for you, that's going to do it for this episode. So yeah, kind of a boring one. I've spent a lot of time on this thing, and so you only get a little bit of time seeing it. I don't have enough time to make the farm yet for the tree. And so I will do that in the future and hopefully have that done by the next episode. But yeah, guys, super looking forward to going forward with this series. I'm not giving up on it just because I didn't post in 2 weeks. Okay, doesn't mean I'm giving up on it. But yeah, so that'll be good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and for your support. I hope you are continuing to enjoy this. If you have any suggestions or questions about the farm, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. We will see you in the next one. Bye bye.